It is 4:45. Welcome to Central Valley Talk Live. I'm Austin Reed. Thank you for joining us. It is Thursday, the 12th of August, as I like to call around here, Friday Eve. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You know, podcasts are so huge these days, and believe it or not, there's a lot of local podcasts that are absolutely incredible. And one of those I actually started listening to thanks to Instagram. And I've got the hosts with me inside our Tower District studios here in Fresno in the Mike Briggs building. Hello there. Welcome.
Hi.
Tell everybody your names.
I'm Sin Banks.
I'm John Holiday.
And you guys are with the Black Audacity, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Black
Okay.
Audacity
All right.
Black
Podcast.
Audacity podcast.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
when did this all start? Who wants to begin?
Actually, it started with a totally different host, two hosts. It was me and another person back in 2018, and we decided we wanted to make a podcast specifically for Black nerds because we're a demographic that isn't always seen. And then that co-host got booted, and John is one of my best friends, like a brother to
And
me.
a gigantic nerd.
And
so.
a huge nerd, and definitely very much Black. So
That worked.
it made more sense, and then we started in December of 2020, and from there we've just been expanding. Like every week, we try to drop an episode, and we have T-shirts, hats. We don't have a website yet, but we're very active on social media. But we're just out here expressing our voice, just showing what Black millennials are about.
So okay, so you guys are both millennials,
Yes.
right? Okay, so
One of us is a younger millennial, but
okay,
yes.
all right. What? You know, I mean, in a millennial sense, in a millennial mind, podcasting is where it's at.
Yeah,
And is that kind of why you guys were like, we got to do this?
Right.
I kind of wasn't aware podcasts were so prevalent. Because I only listened to a few.
Right.
But I like to talk. So
So it works.
So when she told me she was already doing hers, I was already supporting it.
Okay.
Then she was like, well, she just hit me one day and was like, get a mic. You're going to be my co-host. And I was like, say less, because that's
pretty
you know,
much
just
what
give me an outlet, and I'm gonna talk. So.
And you did it during really the height of the pandemic,
Yeah.
which people needed content.
Right.
They needed that friend, you know, that maybe they couldn't see, they couldn't touch, but they could hear.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but that's some of the feedback I got. People were saying, oh, I was in the house, you know, and one day I just clicked it on. I heard this from several people. It's like, oh, I just started listening again, because wasn't nobody at work, you know, you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Why not listen to your two drunk best friends?
There you go. Exactly.
We're not always drunk.
No, not
Just sometimes Fridays and
Yeah,
Saturdays
yeah.
and Sundays.
We'll record on Saturdays, so
Oh,
that's
okay,
kind of
well,
like...
then there you go.
We're
Saturday.
unwinding from the
Yeah.
week.
Yes,
That's right.
And that's always why we post on social media on the weekends. Is
Uh-huh.
just for that reason. It's because it's kind of like a party every time we record, even when we're talking about serious topics, which is every week just about, because there's always something serious
Yeah.
with being Black and being a millennial. So we want to make it seem like, hey, you know, you can come over. We're having a drink, have a drink with us.
Yeah.
So that's the type of vibe we try to give.
Tell me a little bit about, now, do you have guests on as well?
Yes.
Okay, so talk about some of your favorite episodes thus far.
What is your favorite?
I know that's a hard question.
Our favorite with guests would be Cancel What. That's
Oh,
our
okay.
third episode, I believe.
That was our one on cancel culture.
Yes, that was talking about cancel culture. We had a local rapper, Young Tuck, on the show, and a local comedian, Isaiah the Comedian, and they were hilarious. And it was like a party. It was a lot of fun. And my favorite one with just the two of us would be the Neo Negro episode, where we talk about how people like us, Black creatives, are creating a new Black renaissance. And it's not just, you know, concentrated in one area, it's everywhere. So that's my favorite episode. Like those two right there.
Kind of like our voices throughout history and American history. Not comparing ourselves to, you know,
Not
people.
yet.
Well, not yet. But just kind of how America at that time was, you know, in a tumultuous state, just how it is now. And then what happens? You take that in, you just contextualize it, then you put your spin, your voice, your thoughts on it. So again, with everything that's going on, it's kind of been it's not been easy, but it's been cool having a voice because you got stuff to talk about,
Right.
which is the best thing to have when you have a podcast. You need stuff to talk about. So
That's right. And there's a lot to talk about right now.
So America's been keeping us the world.
Yes,
You know.
and nerd culture in itself because it's expanding, and we were nerds when it wasn't cool.
Exactly. And we like to have fun too. So
Yes.
we're actually the opposite of serious.
There's
it's
nothing.
a real jovial.
We don't really sound serious at all.
Yeah,
You
we
hear
like
my
that.
voice. He's usually got his leg crossed like this. There's a lot of whiskey involved. It's just
But it's just kind of whatever's trending, whatever you guys feel like needs
It's
to be
predicated
discussed.
on nerd culture,
Uh-huh.
our place in it, and then what's going on in the world.
Yes.
So nerd culture meaning like tech stuff or
She's into that. I'm into
say,
like
okay.
the
Tell the
media,
truth.
the media of it, like sci-fi, comic books,
Oh,
anime.
cool. Okay.
I'm into all of that.
and we're both big movie
And then
buffs. So big
Very
movie
good.
and music
nerds,
buffs.
All right.
music nerds.
We talk about all movies,
Uh-huh.
but we're the Marvel franchise, DC
Mm-hmm.
franchise, because we go back all the way to the comic books,
Mm-hmm.
and some of us know the comic books like from the 80s, and
Yeah.
then some of
Yeah.
us,
I'm the de facto comic book.
Okay.
he's the 80s expert, so 80s movies, everything else, and I'm the 90s expert in early 2000s because
Yeah.
that's where we feel comfortable as.
Isn't it weird that the early 2000s were 21 years ago?
She
I mean,
harkens on that all the time.
It makes me
She
upset.
harps on that all the
it's
time.
crazy. It's just
People
crazy
born
to
in
think about.
2000 can buy alcohol now. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's how time
right.
works.
It didn't sit well with me,
Yeah.
and I do make a big deal about it. I'm okay with that.
Talk a little bit about what is it like to be African American millennials here in Fresno?
Yeesh.
Oh, we got deep.
Okay.
As of
All right,
late,
Austin, you on a real show.
that's a real as of late, I think it's been pretty cool.
Okay.
Growing up, not so much.
Huh.
But as of late, I could see people are more accepting, and that's in all cultures. Back in the day, you had to fit in one category. You know what I'm saying? Especially being African American, you had to do this, you had to do that. Like, I don't really play basketball. You don't play basketball? What do you do? I'm at home watching Star Trek. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't really cool at the time. But now I was talking about to her on one of our podcasts, like my nephews and nieces, they're into like, my nephew loves The Flash. Back when I was in high school, that wasn't cool. So I like that. And I try to nurture that. So, and just like with anything else going on in the world, I say people our age and younger are more accepting than people older than us were, or we were to ourselves. So growing up, recontextualizing, getting new information, and just
Yeah, I would say about the same. Fresno was a totally different place when we were growing up. It was a different identity to be black in Fresno. If you weren't, for the viewers who don't know, there's major black families in Fresno.
Yeah.
And then everybody's kind of related to one another in and out one way or the other. But if you weren't part of the church culture, if you weren't part of the sports culture, if you weren't part of just a popular culture, you kind of got left in the dust. If you were if you were that nerd, you were that person. Right. So it's evolved now where technology has helped us, like two people like us who are actually fairly popular, but we're able to.
But you can find like-minded people. So
yeah, we can find
cool.
people now.
Right.
We can find the other nerds that were in hiding like us.
So people my age, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you like that too, but we would have never met growing up.
Never would have happened.
Exactly. Okay, so your next new podcast is going to be released Saturday?
We'll
record Saturday.
And it'll be released on Tuesday. The following Tuesday.
Where can people find you guys?
You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Cast.
Google.
We're on Google, finally. We will be on Audible soon. We're heading, so we're anywhere. All you have to do is search for us wherever
you find us on Instagram,
Yes.
Yeah.
And the latest info there, right?
Yes. And then
Okay.
definitely follow us on our Instagram is Black Audacity Podcast. We have our own separate Instagrams that are wild and inappropriate. I'm the Sin Banks on IG, and he is jhollow559.
AKA the Dark Wing.
The
Yeah,
dark
the dark
duck,
wing.
yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
appreciate you
Good to
having
meet
us.
you.
Awesome.
Come back
We
anytime,
appreciate
okay?
it.
Oh, no
All right.
doubt,
All right.
no doubt.
Very good. I'm Austin Reed. That's going to wrap it up for Central Valley Talk on this Thursday. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out the Reed Report tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on My 53. I've got a really great episode for you tomorrow. The creators and stars of Small Town News. It's a new docuseries on HBO. Spoke with me via Zoom. So we're going to talk to them. My daughters are going to make an appearance on the show. And Natalie Vera from CBS 47 joins me. You can also stream the Austin Reed Network on Roku and Amazon Fire TV anytime. Stay cool. It's going to be a hot weekend. And coming up next, live on Central Valley Talk starting at 5 p.m., Most Things Hypnosis with Isla Brock. So stay tuned for that. Have a great weekend.